Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how I designed this back to school week flyer in Photoshop. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also turn on the notification bell for more videos. Without saying much, let's get started. So let's start by opening our Photoshop. Go to new file. Make sure you are using pixels and the width to be 3000 and the height to be 3000, and let's make the resolution to be 72. Okay, and let's click on create. Okay guys, before we start doing our background design and everything, let's save our work. Go to file, go to save as, and name your file as what you want, like anything that you want to name. Okay, back to school. Okay, week. So I've named mine back to school week. Okay, so now let's design our background. So I'll click here. I'll take the solid color, take a darker red. Okay, I'll give you the colors that I use, the color code that I use in the video description. Okay, so now this is our color, our first background, so we don't want to touch it. Okay, so let's lock it. So I'm going to bring in my textures. Okay, bring in my textures. So this is my first texture. Okay, I'll expand it a bit. I'll make it big. Sorry, let's make it here. Okay, this is okay. And let's bring in the other texture. So bring in. I'll give you the resources in the video description too. I'll enlarge it a bit. Okay, but you see this texture is not giving us what we want, so let's change its blending mode to luminosity. So if you want to change the blending mode, you see where there is normal here, so click here and take luminosity. So we are taking it to be luminosity, and we are reducing the opacity to be somewhere 6. Okay, 6. Okay, let me reduce this a bit. Okay, so this is 6. It's okay, we want it like that. So let's lock it. Okay, so let's add some kind of dark part here. Okay, some kind of dark part here. Let's lock this one. So we are done with this one. Let's lock. So let's take our ellipse. Okay, let's take our ellipse and let's draw something like this. So I'm holding the shift key to get a correct ellipse or circle. Okay, so it is okay. I'll bring it here. Okay, and please let it be under the texture. Okay, let it be under the texture, this one. Okay, so now let's take this darker one. Okay, let's position it in the middle. So let's add some kind of blurry to it. Okay, so that we don't see it like it's really a circle. Okay, so let's go to filter. You make sure that you have selected your ellipse here. Go to filter, then you go to blur, then go to Gaussian blur. So you can see we have Gaussian blur here. Yeah, it will ask you, do you want to convert to smart object? Yes, convert to smart object. Okay, so let's decrease it a bit like this. Okay, so the more you take it here to the right side, the more blurrish that you get. Okay, so this is okay for me. Okay, so we have something like this. So let's lock it. Okay, we don't want to touch it. Okay, so to make our work very simpler for us, so let's select everything from the first texture to the last color that we added first. Then we press Ctrl+G sorry to group them. Okay, so that we don't want to touch them. Okay, so now let's lock everything. So now we have grouped them, and we can name it by double clicking the group here, group 1 here, and give it as background. Okay, so this is it. We have done with our background. So now let's go for our text. Okay, let's go for our text. So I'll go for my text. Okay, so the header is back to school week. Okay, so let me take the back to school first. I'll select my text tool as the text to add text, okay, and make sure that I'm using white for the text, okay. Then I'll click here. Let me fit it, okay. So I'll paste my back to school, okay, and position it like this in the middle, and take the character, okay. If you don't see your character, you go to window, go to character, okay. Where is it? Character. You will see your character appearing here. So this is my character, and I want the back to school to be all capital letters. So by so doing, you click here to make everything to be capital letters, okay. So now I have my back to school. Let me make it big a bit, okay. So now let's make a duplication of the back to school. By the way, I use Handle font, okay, Handle font for that. Handle font for the back to school, which is bold, the bold one, okay. So now let me take the week, okay. So I'll double click here and paste in the week, okay. So this is my week. I'll make it big, okay. So this one I'm changing the font name to be Big Noodle, okay. Big Noodle Thailand, okay. So let's make big. All right. Make it big a bit. Because we want to get alignment, okay. We want to get alignment from here and alignment from here. So let's use our rule for that. So we can take the rule from this side. See, we can take it from this side, we can take it from this side. So we are taking it from here, okay, because we want it to be vertical, and we are taking some two from here. So let's zoom in. I'm using my scroll wheel to zoom in. So I want it to be on the tip of here, okay, and also this one too to be at the end here, okay. So now we have it here. So now let's make sure that our back to school touches these lines, okay. So we select our back to school, Ctrl+T, then we enlarge it like this, okay. Okay, we enlarge this side too. So for you to see it well, you have to zoom in, Ctrl+T, and yes, okay, it's touching. Let's check this side too. Okay, it's also touching, I think, yeah, but let's bring it back a bit. Okay, this okay. So now it's touching, everything is perfect here. Okay, so now let's change the color for the week to a light red, okay, something like this, okay. This is okay. So now we are done with our back to school week. Now let's add our activities. So I'll select my rectangular tool here, make sure that I'm top of the week, okay, top of the week, I mean the first layer. Then I'll draw something like this, okay, like this. I'll curve it. You can use this one to curve it, or you can use the properties. Under your properties, you see this one, you can use it to curve it, okay. So let me change the color to be white, okay, and let me reduce it a bit, and let's make a duplication of it. So you can make a duplication by selecting it and pressing Ctrl+J, or you can use the Alt key, pressing on the Alt key and dragging it to the other side, okay, something like this. Okay, so now let's select light red, okay. So now let's select this one, okay, let's select this one, press Ctrl+T to extend it, okay. So whilst holding your shift key, we want to extend this side, okay, the left hand side, okay. So holding the shift key, then dragging it like this, okay. And we want the white one to be, the red one to be under the white. So make sure that the rectangular one, copy this one, the red one is under the white one, okay. So something like this is okay, but let's select the two of them and let's curve it a bit, okay. Okay, so this is okay. Okay, so this is it. So now let's add our text, okay. Maybe this side to a bit, side too small. Okay, so now let's take our test. Let's add the first activity that's going to be on Thursday, okay. Thursday, I'll copy the Thursday and also make a duplication of the back to school. We don't want to be typing, so we just make one text copy, then we edit it, okay. Ctrl+V to paste it, and make sure that I'm reducing the size, okay. And let's make sure that the text is on top of all the layers, okay, to make it visible. And let's change the color to be black, okay. And let's put it here, somewhere here, but we don't want everything to be capital letters, so let's turn off our capital letters here, okay, because we did this one, we did the capital letters for the back to school, that's why it's affecting this one. So let's turn it off to make it normal. All right, now let's make the duplication of the Thursday again, and also bring the date, copy and paste, okay. And with the dates, let's change it to be regular, not bold. We don't want it to be bold. And let's reduce the size a bit, something like this. Let's make the Thursday big, okay, something like this. Let's make sure that they are in the middle, okay. Okay, now they are in the middle. Let's push this one top. Okay, so now let's add our activity name. So Thursday is going to be health day, health. Ctrl+V, okay. Ctrl+V to paste it, and let's change the color to be white. Let's make it big a bit, and let's position it here, okay. Now let's make the duplication of the 20th, the date here, and let's make it white, and also add the time, that is 5 o'clock p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Copy and I'll paste it here, okay. Let's align it this side, okay. We are using a move tool to move everything, okay. So there's our move tool. All right, now let's select the two of them and bring them back a bit, okay. So now we are done with the Thursday on. So because we don't want to draw another rectangular and curve them, let's select everything like this and make a duplication. So we are selecting our Alt key and dragging it like this, okay, because we want it to be 3. So let's add another one too, like this, okay. The spacing tool, let's make sure that they are all at the same space, and also let's make sure that they are in the middle, okay. So let's select this one too. This one is outside our line, okay. Now let's select everything and pull it top, okay. And also let's select everything here and reduce it a bit. It's too big for me. Okay, in the middle. All right, this is okay. Okay, so now let's change here to be Friday. And let's move it. You can use our arrow key on our keyboard, then pressing shift key before moving it like this to speed up the movie. Okay, when you press the shift key, it's speed up the movie. Okay, now let's change the date to be 21st. Okay, and this one, so let's make it Saturday. Right, and let's move it now. Let's move it like this. Okay, so this one is going to be 22nd. Okay, now let's add the activity name. So on Friday we are going to have movie night. Okay, and the time is going to be 5, so we can just double click here and claim. Let's say 30. Okay, and also on Saturday we are going to have Freshers versus Starlights. Okay, yes. Right, so now we can see that the Freshers versus Starlight is it's not facing the shape here, so let's extend the shape this side. Okay, don't worry about it passing the line. Okay, we will do something about it. So something like this, because I will add some kind of icons here. Okay, so let's check the time. The time was 3, so let's zoom in and change everything here to be 3. All right, okay, so now let's extend this one to a bit to +T. It's okay, perfect. Now this is what you want to achieve. Okay, now let's select everything here and make sure that it's aligned with this line, so something like this. All right, okay, so now we are done with activities. Let's add the icons to each activity. Okay, so the health day will go for health icon, so I have my health icon here. I'll bring it here and reduce it a bit. Okay, you can see what is also red. Okay, but we do something about it. We add some kind of light to it. Let's bring in the movie night on. Okay, let's bring this icon to the movie. Okay, let's reduce it. Okay, to represent movie. Okay, and also let's bring the football to represent football match. Okay, let's bring it at the top. Okay, all right, so let's reduce it and place it here. Okay, so now let's add some kind of light to each of the icons that we have added. Okay, so let's start with the health. Okay, so we select the health, then we right click it on the layer. Okay, the layer of the health, then we go to blending. Okay, blending options. Okay, this is my blending options. Then you select outer glow. Okay, outer glow, then you make sure that your outer glow is white. Okay, by default is white. Okay, and let's make here to be 0. Okay, and here to be 240. Okay, 240 is too much. Let's bring it down. Like, okay, let's make it 2. Okay, let's make it 200. Okay, I think 200 is okay, and let's press OK. So we can see we are having some kind of light here. Okay, let's do the same thing to the side. So right click, blending option. Because we did the same thing for this one, when you go to the outer glow, it will apply the same effect to it, so we don't have to change anything here. So let's select the ball tool, right click, blending option, then we go to outer glow. Okay, so you can see we are having some kind of light. Let's place it here. Okay, okay, this is okay. All right, now let's select everything and bring them down. Okay, select it again and reduce it with Ctrl+T. So we want to reduce it to the middle. So you pressing Ctrl+T, then making sure that your hand is on the Alt key. So Alt, then you drag one side like this. Okay, this is okay. So now let's bring in our logo. Okay, let's bring in our logo. So I'll bring in my logo here. I mean the school logos. Please, this is not a real design. I mean a design that was ordered by the SRC, but I decided to add their logos to represent. Okay, so something like this. Okay, I'll select everything and bring it down. So now let's remove our line by dragging it to this side. Select it, drag it to the other side. Okay, so that we can see our work. So now we are done with everything here. Let's add our for more info here. Okay, so let's go take our for more info, copy, and we make a duplication of the wiki. Okay, it's like this. We double click it and we paste our for more info. See, because we didn't redo the site, that's why we're having this issue. So let's use the site, Ctrl+T. Okay, I should have reduced it before. Okay, so let me reduce it to the lowest. It's too big, so let's type it to be 200. Okay, let's make it white and let's make it 100. Let's see, 100. All right, 100 is okay. Let's make sure that it's in the middle. Okay, so you can do that by selecting the texture. Okay, I mean selecting the layer here, then Ctrl+A, making sure that you are on the move to. Okay, then you see this thing here, you click on it to center everything for you. Okay, so now we have our design. I think we didn't center them, so let's center. Okay, so let me bring this one to the other side. I want this one to put here, something like this. Okay, so let's center our logos too. Okay, so this is it. We have our for more info here too. So now let me bring in my logo. I'm adding my logo to it to represent that I was the one who did it. Okay, so let me reduce my logo here. Okay, so now I have my logo written here set. Okay, so now let's select the week and the back to school together. Okay, and let's drag them. We are making a duplication of them like this. Okay, then after we making a duplication, we right click on the layer. Okay, see, you can see that we have selected the two of them. Okay, so we right click on them, any of them, then you go to convert to smart object. Okay, convert to smart object. So now we have merged them, so they are together now. So now let's reduce them a bit. Okay, let me position it here, and let me add some kind of blur to it. Okay, some kind of blur. So I'll go to filter, I'll go to blur, but this time we are using motion blur. Motion blur is for moving object. Okay, like object being moved. Okay, so something like this is okay for me. And let's drag, make a duplication of this one to here. Okay, this time when I'm making it bigger, it's too big. Let's reduce it, something like this. All right, so this is okay. So now let's select everything here, excluding this, and this, and this. Okay, so let's select everything from here to here. Okay, making sure that you have selected everything from here to here. Then we group them, Ctrl+G to group them. Okay, now this is the group one. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we have grouped this one. Now let's make a duplication of them. So by selecting the group, Ctrl+J to make the duplication. Now let's turn off the group one, the first one. Okay, let's turn this one off and select this one. Okay, the copy one and tap, the copy one with it. Then Ctrl+T, then making sure that your hand is on the control key. Okay, control key like this. You can see my row have changed. We're having some kind of black arrow under it. Okay, then we select this side and drag it up like this. Okay, let's bring it down like this. Okay, so let's wait for it to transform. Okay, so now you can see this is our design. It's done. Let's add some kind of camera raw to it. Okay, some camera raw effect to it. So making sure that we are on top of the layer, the first layer here, then pressing Control Alt Shift and E. Okay, to combine all the design together. Then you right click it and go to convert to smart object. Then after that you go to filter, you go to camera raw filter. Okay, then when you place it, you see the before and the after. Okay, so now let's add some texture to it. Let's add some kind of more texture to it. So let's scroll down and search for texture. Okay, so texture, then let's increase our texture to 30. See, there's different. Then the clarity, the clarity, let's make it like 12. Okay, then let's add gain, like 4 gain. Okay, then you press on OK. So you can see we have some kind of darker part to it. So let's see the before and the after. So we see this one is having more light, and after we add in the effect, you can see. So guys, this is our work, but before that, let me show you how to save it. So you go to File, you go to Export, go to Export As. Okay, go to Export As, then you make sure that you are using JPEG for the format. Then you make it to be the highest to get higher quality. So you can see we're having 6.2 megabytes at the side. Then you go to Export. So it will ask you, where do you want to save it? So I want to save it here. Save. So now let's go and search for our file. Okay, let's go and search for our file. So we can see we have our file here. Okay, we have our file here. Neatly done. So guys, thank you for watching this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Also share it to your friends to learn more.